Happy Friday, and welcome back to our podcast conversation entitled Finding God In, where this week we have had some conversation about finding God in the midst of transition. That's important because at this time of year, families find themselves in transition. As a school year comes to a close, as the summer is before us, we find ourselves in transition, and it's going to happen whether we like it or not, whether we have any control over it or not, right? The school year is definitely coming to a close. Summer is definitely upon us. In fact, it's Memorial Day weekend, and the rhythm of life that we ordinarily have for many families will be different this weekend. And sometimes those transitions are little bitty, like this weekend, as we move into a different rhythm on Memorial Day weekend. Sometimes those transitions are annual, like the end of a school year and summer and the rhythm of life during the summer. And sometimes those transitions are bigger, like the seasons of life. And as we said on Sunday, every transition begins when something ending ends, and there's going to be a new rhythm in transition, no matter how big or how small that transition is. One of the things that's really important as we look at our lives and finding God with us in transition is to pay attention to our needs, even in the midst of our wants. Let me give you an example. Let's say there's a family, a young couple married, they've got kids, and they are in transition from the school year into the summer. And they may want maybe acquired a rhythm in the house. They may want things to be a little bit more settled, but that's not going to happen because just the transition is bringing a new rhythm with it. But they're going to need time together. They're going to need time for conversation so that they can, together as a couple, navigate well their family through the new rhythm that's upon them. Let me give you maybe another example. Let's say, and again, please God, this is just an example, and if it touches any of our own hearts, then I say this with great love and reverence. Say we've had to let go of something pretty personal in transition, and it elicits lots of different emotions in our hearts. We may want what used to be. We may want maybe a person that used to be, or a time that used to be, or a job that used to be, or a place that used to be. Whatever it is, we may want that to be there with us. And in transition, that's not there. There's a difference between what we want and what we need, right? We might need someone to talk that out with, a good friend, a person that we trust, maybe a spiritual advisor, I'd say a priest, or maybe just a trusted confidant, a disciple in the Lord. Because we're going to need to be able to talk that out because of all the emotions that are connected to what we are losing, you might say. What I do know is that a lot of times we forget about our needs because we're so focused on what we want. A lot of the things that we want are connected to what we used to have in the past in transition. We may want the people we used to have, the time we used to have, the rhythm of life we used to have, the physical things we used to have. And we may want all those things in transition, but if it's gone, if it's changed, then we need to get really clear with what we need in order to find God with us in the midst of transition. And for a lot of us, that's finding somebody to talk things out with. For a lot of us, we need time with God to find Him with us, right? It's important for us to go deep inside our heart and to take the time to name what we need in order to successfully, or you might, in a very mature way, navigate the transition. So big stuff this morning, but it's important for us to think it through. Again, as I said yesterday, self-awareness is one of the most important things in life that can be a saving grace for us. In transition, what do you need? Not necessarily what do you want, but what are some of the things you need in order to find God with you at this time of year? Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy all that God will bless you with this weekend. Let's look deep inside our hearts and ask the Lord what we need, and it's there that we're going to find Him with us. God bless you.